That's my girl. That's my girl Kana right here. She's stepping up. She's like, I don't need nobody's help. I don't need no Prince Charming to come save me. I'm not no damsel in distress. I got this crap covered. I've been doing this since preschool. And it makes sense, right? This girl has been in the industry for so long. She's been dealing with negative crap for her entire life. I mean, for the longest time, she's been known as the one that was the kid actor that's now washed up. She's dealt with this stuff for a long time. This isn't her first rodeo. It's just this specific thing is her first time. No, she's probably had some little things here and there where some people were saying, well, she was seen with a boy or something like that. But either way, yeah, her stepping up and being all strong, I'm like, yeah, that's my girl. That checks. That checks that she doesn't just kind of immediately crumble and wait for somebody to save her. At the same time, I'm still uneasy about the ending. Like, again, I'm still like very concerned about the mental state of Kana. Yeah, she's standing up and she's saying, I got this crap. She's screaming like, I don't need nobody's help. And Aqua's over there going, yeah, see, she doesn't need my help. I told you guys she's strong. But Aqua doesn't see her face like we do. That was a face of, I can't get help, so I have to do this on my own. I can't have people help me and support me, so I have to do this on my own. That's a Kana right there that got a little taste of having a partner. She had Aqua at some point, and like Aqua was sort of imagining back to him. He had that little flashback where he's thinking about that moment where he was confiding in Kana. She's the only one that I can tell this stuff to. I think there was a bond there in that ability for the two of them to sort of divulge their own secrets and their pains. And she had that at some point, and she no longer has that. So right there, when she's saying that, all I can think about is that moment and her literally going, I can't rely on Aqua, so I have to do this. I can't rely on anybody else, so I got to do this on my own. I am alone, so I got to be alone. She's crying because it looks pained. It looks so painful. My girl, she's just so alone. She's so alone. I really do hate it. I do think that Memcho, my girl, she's speaking truth right here. When she runs over to Aqua, she's like, dude, something's going on. Kana typically hides her own feelings by lying and lashing out and stuff like that. She speaks her mind to cover the truth within her. And yes, she's now saying a lot of things that are very truthful. She's saying that the industry is tough and everything like that. She's speaking what's actually deep inside of her. She's seeing it. Memcho sees all the signs. These are flags like crazy. Something's going on. You gotta save her. She's about to quit. And yeah, he still doesn't want to step in. Now, interesting enough, yeah, somebody last week did pose a question to me like, well, if the whole reason that Aqua is staying away from Kana is because of this, what is he gonna do when something like this comes up? Yeah, if you remember back, the whole reason that he's been separating himself with Kana is because at some point Akane brought up the idea of like, well, something happened in the past like this whole thing, and then suddenly Aqua literally imagined Kana, like he replaced his mother, with Kana, and she was getting stabbed by some crazy fan. He's like, I can't be around Kana because if that gets out that we're in a relationship, she can get stabbed too. And I'm gonna have to experience that again. That's the whole reason he's been doing this. Which again, at the time, I kind of figured because, yes, it's very similar here, it makes sense, but that's with every industry. And him being with Akane literally puts her in danger. But there's this element of like, he's keeping his distance from Kana because he's afraid of her getting stabbed by some crazy psychopath because she's an idol now and she's getting popular. What happens now? What happens now that there's this whole thing with its director apparently spending the night with Kana? What would Aqua do if he suddenly realized this is going to happen to Kana, even if I'm with her or not? What's his reaction? At the time when somebody posed that question, I'm like, I don't know. I honestly don't know right now because of how broken Aqua is right now. I don't see him reacting how I'd assume, which is immediately go to Kana and try to protect her. Crap, somebody might find out from this news about this director and they're going to come stab Kana. I have to protect Kana. I have to do what I didn't do for I have to be her shield. I have to hover around her like a helicopter. What happens instead? When he finds out from Miyako, what does he do? No, shrug, she'll handle it. He's not reacting like we're all wanting him to do, right? And now, I can see that being for some people as seen as something that's very inconsistent, and I sort of agree. I do kind of get a sense here from after watching this episode of like, wait, so if Kana is now in danger for the reason that he is avoiding Kana for, won't he want to go to her side? Won't he want to shield her? Won't he be freaking out right now going, oh crap, it's I all over again, somebody's gonna come stab her? But at the same time, like I said, my response to that question is, I don't know right now because Aqua is so... He's so mentally skewed that I don't think he's going to react how we think he's going to react. Now, I don't necessarily want to say that I completely agree with how he did react in this particular episode, with him still wanting to distance himself. You would think that he'd want to at least make some sort of olive branch. Like, the word's out. There's scandals happening. No need to worry about it no more. But he's not. He's not. But anyways, that's a long intro to say. Yes, episode 30 of Oshinoko. Really, really solid episode. And obviously, most of this episode being around the concept of idols and the industry itself and, yes, relationships. I think the whole opening segment is pretty much paints it perfectly clear. The idea of having Ruby and she's in the talk show and everybody's asking about, do you have a boyfriend? You've been out with a boy? No, I've been out with Aqua all the time. That's your brother. That's not the same thing. But yes, kind of seeing behind the scenes that literally all these idols have this one girl's got a bite mark. My boyfriend likes to mark me all the time right before a shoot. Oh, that's really dangerous. Let's cover that up and all that kind of crap. They literally all have boyfriends and girlfriends in this industry, and they're married, and they all covered up. Different industries, depending on the industries, they all covered up. Yes, like male voice actors like to cover up the fact that they are married. You have female VAs that take pictures before, Christmas to hide the fact that they're out with their boyfriends. Everybody's lying. I think the interesting thing that is kind of brought up here, and this might be to favor of Kana, let's be honest, is specifically bringing up the idea of social media. And I love that Akasaka points this out because this is absolutely 100% true. This idea that, yes, while social media has sort of made bringing to light all these, controversies much more easier, it's also made it much more rampant. I was kind of talking that quite a bit with the last thing that we kind of got into with the Maya. With Maya, yes, she's got a social media presence, and the moment that she gets wronged by this TV studio, what does she do? She goes online and she tells all of her fans, go be mad at this studio. Look how they did me wrong. And like I said before, I think it was wrong too. Asking those questions of her was straight up SA. But she chooses to go to social media, tells everybody, go after this person. Everybody gets all angry and it starts to stir up. But like I said during that whole thing there, and I was kind of agreeing with what Ruby was saying, that's it, right? Once this is all over, it's over and done. Nothing changes. In the end, it gets all the likes. It gets very viral. Everybody's talking about it for like a week at most. In a lot of cases, like 5 days at most. And then suddenly, everybody's off to the next thing. That's how social media works. It's based on trends and something being really hot, but once that heat of that being trendy suddenly goes away, it disappears from the feeds. Initially, when everybody's looking at it and they're interacting with it and they're commenting on it, this system knows this is hot, let's push this to the front of everybody's feed. But once everybody has said what they need to say and they've hit the like button already and they've retweeted already, it suddenly disappears. That's how it works. I know this 100% because literally every single post that I make on social media that goes viral, it takes off. Like here recently, one of the biggest ones I had was this whole coverage of Banana Fish getting an AI English dub from Amazon. I posted that out there and a bunch of the voice actors and whatnot started retweeting it and it started getting a lot of traction. This thing took off. It was getting so much attention, millions and millions of views within that first week, and then suddenly, dead. And then nobody cares about that incident anymore. Anybody that was actually watching that whole situation with the AI dubs, what happened the moment that the AI dub of Banana Fish specifically ended? When they took that down from the website, nobody's talking about it anymore. And I said this in my coverage of it. Watch, the moment that they take that down, nobody's going to care about AI dubs on Amazon anymore. And sure enough, nobody cares. There's still like live actions on there and everything like that. There's still the presence of AI dubs, but nobody cares anymore because the Banana Fish one's gone. The Banana Fish, even when there was still anime ones on there, once the initial thing that was trending is gone, it's out from people's minds. They're now looking at the next thing that's on the feed. And this is literally what they're talking about here, is that now it's much easier for it to hit people's eyeballs that when it's trending, but the moment that heat goes away, the likes and the retweets go away, and it's no longer in the algorithm, it disappears and the next thing pops up. And now suddenly everybody's mad about this. With social media, we are going by the whims of the algorithm. Social media is giving us what to be angry at. The next thing comes up. The next thing comes up. Oh, this is the next thing to be mad about. Somebody made the post about this. They're upset. Like she says, it makes it more rampant, but it waters down the significance. Whereas before, it was on tabloids only. It was on the news. There was no social media. And it stuck there for like a week because it's been run. The press has been run. and it's on those papers for like a week. And thus that is the thing to be upset about, and it destroys people's lives. Their career is ended. Now, within a couple days, the next thing is trending. Everybody forgets about the other one because that takes their time up. So going back to Kana, and like she's saying right here, this might be a benefit to her because yes, this new trend is probably really good for idols right now. It gives them that peace of mind because people forget things so fast. Because it's so watered down, it's no longer that important, which is great because this is very stressful. This lifestyle is very, very stressful. Anyways, yes, that's that whole kind of introduction that Ruby has there. I like how they kind of point out the fact that why is everybody so obsessed with if you're going out with boys or not? Why does everybody care so freaking much? Ruby's over here just like, I don't care about relationship. Why do they only want to talk about that? She only has eyes for one person. We all know that she only has eyes for one person, the doctor, who unfortunately now knows is lost. But no, skipping forward to the moment in which Kana finds out that this is getting out. And yes, we get an email that's sent to Miyako. They want to ask questions of her. I do kind of appreciate that's sort of kind of a journalist integrity, the idea there of at least wanting to reach out to the agency, see if there's another side to it. I think there's sort of an element there of making sure that you're not spreading misinformation, but at the same time, it is really an element of trying to get more sides of it. That's meaning your thing is more credible. But either way, yes, eventually somebody confronting Kana and asking her about her time with the director. I my gut dropped for her, and the way that they portray this was really good as well. The idea of just that sudden, like it just feels like all the blood just leaves her head, like it just that rush to that. Holy crap! It's over for me. I'm being caught. It's done. Like there's no coming back from this. It's just me. Her response is immediately turn around and just go. Wait, you're not going to say anything? Are you admitting it? No, just go. Just go. I need to speak to my lawyer. I need to get the hell out of here. It is interesting to note that she says that she's done for. Like, this is it. But the first thing that really comes to her mind is the fact that this is going to damage Bikomachi. I think there is an element here where she's obviously going to immediately try to search for who can save me from the situation. It's the moment that she's underwater and suddenly she's looking for what things she can grab, what floaty is there that she can pull herself up and get out from drowning. I'm going to drown under this. This is going to destroy me. What can I pull up? Okay, the agency or whatever. But there is an element here where it feels very selfish that Kana realizes that, again, she's dealt with this kind of stuff before, but this damage isn't going to just be about her. The moment this comes to light, it's going to damage the entire group, which I still have my theories around this chick that did this, that she probably is trying to get at Bikomachi. Now, whether or not she's working for someone else, like, I don't know, Hikaru, whether or not she's working for somebody else is the question mark there. But the obvious impact here is going to be Bikomachi. It's going to affect every single one of them, which sort of made me believe that this wasn't going to be orchestrated by Ruby. I didn't really see, unless Ruby was looking for an excuse to get out of Bikomachi and go solo, I could see her using this potentially to destroy the group, thus allowing her to get out of there. And to be honest, that would technically make sense to the fact that she's thinking about all this stuff at the beginning of the episode. Thinking about like causing controversy and stuff like that, trying to find something that would be very detrimental to the group that would allow her to be able to leave the group. But I don't know that she would do that to Kana. I know that she's willing to sacrifice a lot of people, but she hasn't really sacrificed anybody that is not already bad in some way. Like the director. She was willing to throw this Tetsu guy under the bus in order to, get a leg up. She was willing to throw Maya out there because she didn't like Maya. Everybody so far that Ruby has used is people that she doesn't really care about. I mean, you can probably make an argument at Shun. Shun hasn't really done anything bad that would deserve her to put him in the crossfires. But in the end, Shun's seen nothing but success at the end of this. As an AD, he's seen nothing but a way out. So I don't want to necessarily say that it's Ruby that's orchestrating this, but I would probably say there's a good chance it's Hikaru, and he knows about Ruby, and he's trying to shake things up with Bikomachi at least, maybe potentially trying to snatch up Ruby. I can see that being a feature thing. He wants to bring down Ichigo Productions, and he doesn't want to hurt Ruby's career, and he'll eventually come in once Ichigo Productions is down because of Kana's controversy and snag up Ruby, but we'll see. But anyways, yes, Kana gets confronted, gets panicked mode, runs away, and eventually, yes, over on the other side, we see Miyako and Memcho. Good girl, Memcho. She's like, no, I gotta go find this girl. I can't just sit around. I gotta go find my girl. Eventually, Aqua deciding that he needs to go, and that's mainly because Miyako mentioned the idea that Not everybody is strong as you. You are an exception. Like, you are not the norm. You're very mature. You're able to take this criticism. You're able to take this stuff. But most of these girls can't. Kana is not strong like you. This can break her. This is an industry that is literally making money by bringing in these young kids that are very fragile and basically using them, and fans using them, and agencies using them, publishers using them, and eventually breaking them, and then just kind of toss them to the side. That's the unfortunate reality. Again, that's something I'm expecting they're going to get into with Hikaru eventually. But yeah, the whole scene with Kana breaking down. Interesting thing in here. One of the interesting things that was mentioned in here with Kana specifically is as she's listening to all these comments that are made to all these other idols that get taken down by this kind of stuff, all those things are flowing through her head. Eventually, she has the thought, in the end, you only saw being an idol as a way to stay in the industry. I might as well quit. Again, this is something they've been building up for the last 2 episodes. This idea that Kana is now realizing the only reason I was there is Aqua. I love that Memcho points it out to Aqua. Thank you, Memcho, for acknowledging that as well. Memcho realized the thing that we're all realizing. She's there because of you, Aqua. So you can say I got to stay away from her and everything, but that's the only reason she's there. And right here, Kana's realizing it too. The only reason I was really there is because this is the way to stay in the industry. And again, also, Aqua. She's also been seeing him as well. That's why she's seen that in the last episode. But the sad thing is, she's like, if I quit, will they let me off the hook? It's not like I care about this. It's not like I was meant to be in the industry. I'm not the type of person to be doing this. This is the part that really does kind of hurt me. This little breakdown moment right here is very relatable to me. It's one of those elements where you're like, I want to do this thing so bad and I have a passion for it, but I don't think it's working. That moment where you're kind of questioning, do I even have the grit? Do I even have what it takes? It's like what Memcho was thinking about at the very beginning of this season. That idea of like, I've been working on this thing this entire time, and then suddenly Ruby comes up and boom, viral. Like, that's a sucky feeling to have where you're like, I'm just not cut out for it. I want this, but I just don't think it's working out. I don't have what it takes compared to other people or whatever. But I think for her, really, it comes down to personality. She doesn't feel that her personality fits with it. This is not what people want. I'm not what people want. And in the end, I think this is the easy way to get out is by saying that I was never meant to be here. Just run away. But yeah, then the moment where she finally breaks down and says, save me, Aqua. And right there, Aqua is right behind her. Save me, Aqua. What am I doing? Turn into a boy when I'm in trouble? How gross. This is super gross. I've been doing this stuff for a long time. I'm good. Crap, they're going to say that I'm a slut. Whatever. I don't care. I've been dealing with this since I was a preschooler. I don't even like the fans. I don't even like the fans. Yeah, again, she's crying though. She's crying. I think there is a frustration there. Like, I can't believe I just literally called out to Aqua in my time of need. I called out for a boy to handle this. I've been alone for a long time. I can deal with this again. But again, I think that is the pain, right? The fact that she thought that she could turn to somebody, but she can't. She screamed out, Aqua, save me, but she knows that he's not coming. I have to stand up. I'm always alone, and I'm always going to be alone. That's the part that hurts me. And again, I think it's going to be a breaking point because like Aqua's over there going, oh, see, I told you she's super strong. She can handle this stuff on her own. I knew all along Kana can handle it. If you thought that, you wouldn't be running away from her. If you thought that, you wouldn't be distancing yourself with her. Again, there's that hypocrisy there. I obviously acknowledge. I do see that there is sort of an oddity about how Aqua's reacting to Kana's situation here. He should be freaking out. But I do believe when you see that somebody is so strong, they can handle it on their own, he is envisioning that she has Bikomachi, so it's not like he's seen that she's alone, but he's saying that she can handle this because she's strong. And I think that's a very unfortunate thing to think about somebody else, that they're always strong and they can always deal with situations that you never have to step in and say, are you okay? At least a simple, this is pretty big deal, are you okay? Everybody handles these situations differently, but if I was there, I would offer advice to Aqua, don't assume. Say at least, are you okay? I can't stay here. Like I said, I want to keep my distance, but I at least want to say, are you okay? Simple. Kana's not bulletproof. Nobody's bulletproof. No matter how much you think that they're so freaking strong. Often the people that don't show pain much are the ones that crash the most, are the ones that are hurting the most inside. So if you think that Kana is some sort of bulletproof, that's the warning signs. Anyways, we wrap up the episode with a little bit more of a Kane that, yes, she's still looking into Hikaru and, yes, finds it very easy to find information about him now they know what his name is. But yeah, specifically it's pointing out there's a little bit of a gap in his history between age 16 and 25. 25 being the point in which he opened up his own agency. And yeah, she's like, wow, I think I should become a detective. But as she's snooping around, there's somebody following her. I'm assuming that's Aqua because he has a tracker on her phone. Like he's probably using like some sort of Find My Friend app or something like that, depending on what service he's using. Something that, you know, you can share somebody's location to somebody else. And since they're going out, they're probably obviously going to be sharing each other's location. So he's probably watching her. Why he's watching her? Question mark. Question mark. What does Aqua know? All I'm guessing is that sometime between him talking to Ichigo and now, he has been kind of re-looking into thing and re-putting his feelers out there, and he suddenly noticed that Akane has shown some sort of sign that she's sniffing after something, that she's back on the scent of something, and he's trying to figure out what it is. Why he would be snooping after her is the question mark. I mean, it could be that he suddenly knows that she's going off to somewhere that she doesn't normally go to, and that kind of threw up a red flag for him, so he decided to follow her. Creeper. It's like you have that trust of sharing each other's location on an app or whatever with your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and then suddenly you're showing that fear and not being able to trust them and suddenly deciding to tell them. Again, I'm assuming it's Aqua. It could be Hikaru again because they got the similar hair thing going on there, but again, I don't know that Hikaru would have had like, I guess he could have thrown a tracking device in her purse at some point. I do believe that Akane is coming under the attention of Hikaru. Again, that's why he brought the flowers. Yes, they said that he always does that for the Lalai people because he used to be a part of their group, but I have a feeling that he knows about her eyes. I think he probably senses she's acting just like I. Hikaru knows I. Again, he taught her the eyes. I bet he sees the eyes in Akane, and he's going to be wanting to check in on her. And yes, he could have bugged her. But I think it's going to be Aqua. I think it's going to be some sort of sharing location thing the two of them did. So we'll see. But anyways, I think that's everything. That's another Yap Fest for Oshinoko episode 30. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. If you did, hit the like button down below. If you like this content and you want to support channel more, become a member. Until next time, you'll take care.